Hey guys, welcome to Human Training for Dogs, where we don't just teach dogs new behaviors, we teach humans how to live better. I'm Leon, I'm the founder of Back to Basics Dog Training, and after 35 years of working with dogs and their families, I've learned this. When we change our energy, your dogs, your life will follow. Let's dive in. Welcome to episode 2, Morning Energy Matters of Human Training for Dogs. In this episode, we dive into a true story of how a chaotic household morning routine caused the dog severe separation anxiety and how a simple shift of energy saved the dog and the family. What will you learn in this episode? How your daily routine affects your dog's emotion, their state of mind. Our dogs become our mirrors, guys. I've said this in episode 1, and I truly believe this. You'll also learn, what does emotional transference look like in a dog? It's simple. When you change, they change. How 15 minutes of calm can change everything from your dog to your partner, to your kids, and even your job. This is a session that I'll never, ever forget. I got a phone call from a lady who lived in an apartment complex. She's a single mom, twin 12-year-old girls, and her apartment complex was threatening to evict her because her dog literally would bark in its crate for 8 hours a day when she was at work. And of course, neighbors complained about it. People were getting very upset over this. Which is rightfully so. Nobody wants to hear a dog barking for 8 hours. It's annoying. It's heartbreaking. We could put a bunch of emotions on it. But she needed help, and she needed help quickly. The last thing she wanted to do is uproot her life, her kids' lives, her dog's life. She was really in a bind because she didn't know what was going to be the next step. She had a month to figure it out, and either she was going to have to move or she was going to have to rehome her beloved pup. And neither one of those seemed like a viable option to her. So thankfully she called me and we arranged a session, and I went over there, and the dog was a normal happy-go-lucky goofball dog, very excited to see me, normal routine. But again, because I do believe in rewarding a state of mind, I didn't feed into the excitement, and he calmed down quickly, and we were able to now start our session in a semi-calm manner. So, as always, my first question is, okay, tell me your routine. Tell me your routine. So mom explained to me that she gets up every day at 6 o'clock in the morning. She's got to make the girls' lunches. She's got to make her lunch. She's got to get the girls up for school. She's got to get them up. She's got to go make breakfast for the girls. Oh, in between all that, she has to walk the dog, feed the dog. And then, 12-year-old girls, the process of waking up is not the easiest thing in the world. And so the process of waking them up, getting them dressed, getting breakfast down their throats real quick. Okay, we got to run out the door. We got to get the kids to school. Let's throw the dog in the crate. I'm going to run the kids to school. I'm going to come home. I get home. I'm going to take the dog out again. I got to get in the shower. I got to get my makeup on. I got to get dressed. I got to go to work. And right before I go to work, let me take the dog out one more time because at 8, I may have to use the bathroom. Let me get the dog out of the house. Boom, 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 boom. She gets the dog back in, throws the dog in the crate, runs out the door because she's going to be late for work now. And I'm like, whoa, slow it down. And I was like, okay, we don't have a dog problem at all. Dog is just reading us, man. The dog is reading her hectic, chaotic, frantic energy. And, think about from a dog's perspective, what they're seeing at this point. The dog is seeing, oh my God, look at this. We're here, we're there, we're there. And now I'm locked in a cage. Oh my God, where did everybody go? Where did my pack go? And starts trying to call for the pack to come back because I got all this energy. I don't know what to do with it. I need to get rid of it. So we barked for a long time. And I said, okay, we need to change something here. This isn't about training a dog at this point at all. I knew it from the moment she started her morning routine with me. So of course, I told her, okay, I have a solution. that I think I'm going to get myself in trouble for. And I said, you need to do me a favor. You need to get up a half hour earlier. And boy, the looks that I got when I told her she had to get up at 5:30 instead of 6. If looks can kill, I wouldn't be doing this podcast today. So after going through all that with her, I said, she's telling me, I can't get up at 5:30. I go to bed so late, blah, 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 blah. You know, we have to get the kids to bed. But, you know, I'm like, okay, how about you give me 15 minutes? Let's make a compromise here. I said, can you give me 15 minutes? And she goes, yeah, I can give you 15 minutes. I said, great. Then you got to give me something else in return. You got to make lunches the night before. I said, so now the morning routine that I prescribed for her, for lack of a better term, is get up at 5:45, you know, use the facilities, brush your teeth, do what you need to do, take the dog out, go for your morning walk, feed the dog. After you're done feeding the dog, start the process of waking the girls up. The girls weren't too thrilled with me either, because that means mom's going to be 15 minutes ahead of schedule, which means she's going to start waking them up a little earlier, but that's okay. I can live with that. So long story short, I said, while you're going through the process of now 15 minutes earlier waking the girls up, I said, start making their breakfast. Whatever amount of time she deems necessary to, okay, now you got to get your butts out of bed, go in there, get them up, get them ready, get them into the bathroom, let them do their routine. By that time, breakfast is all done. The girls can sit down, they can have their breakfast, they can relax a little bit. Now you drive them to school. You come home. If you have time while they're eating breakfast, and this was a strong suggestion I made to her, is if while they're eating breakfast, you have time, go take your shower. Get yourself semi-ready to start your work day. After you get home from driving the girls to school, finish your process of getting yourself ready for your day, for your work day. And I said, the last thing I want you to do is take the last 15 minutes to yourself. So save yourself that 15 minutes that we just gained. And I said, take the dog out, walk the dog, put the dog in the crate 15 minutes before you leave, and just sit down and have a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, whatever your morning beverage is, a glass of orange juice, and relax for those 15 minutes before you have to leave for work. What the dog will start noticing is, okay, I'm in the crate, you're calm. You're not just throwing me in the crate and leaving. You're putting me in the crate, you're calm, I should just lay down and relax. And then I told her when she leaves, don't make a big deal out of it. Don't, I love you, I miss you, don't do that. That just builds up the excitement and all that energy again. We don't need any of that. So that was my prescription for it. And I said, but you got to give me an honest effort. One of the things I don't ever say to a customer, because when I work with customers, like I said, it's not really dog training, it's human training. You know, if they don't listen, I'm a horrible trainer. If they listen, I feel like I'm a very good trainer. But if she gives me an honest effort for that month that she had before she would have to make a really hard decision in her life, I said, you will notice a 75% change in everything in your life. And I said, I'm so confident if you give me the 100% effort on this, that if it does not work, I will refund your session price. So it was absolutely amazing, the transformation on the reports that I got after the fact. So the main lesson in this, and I'm going to get into the transformation in a second, is that your dogs don't just hear your voices, they feel your energy. They will base everything on your energy. But not only will the dogs base everything on your energy, so will your humans surrounding you, your partners, your kids, your coworkers, your boss, the person at the checkout stand in Walmart, whatever, we feel energy, and that speaks volumes. So a long story short with this, and it's really doesn't want to be a short story either, is I followed up in 2 weeks just to see how things were going. And I called her up and I said, well, how things are going? And she goes, you're a liar. I'm like, what? She goes, he's 75% better already. I'm like, wow, that's fantastic. I was so happy for her. She said She's noticed a change in her life, her kids' lives, her job. I said, that's fantastic. We'll still follow up in a month just to see how things are going because, it's like anything in life, it's continuous. Part of my methodology, besides my no anger, no frustration, no nonsense mindset, is the 4 C's that I call the 4 C's of dog training: calm, confidence, consistency equals the control that we want. So the consistency is going to be crucial for them to have that happy, balanced life they so truly want. So in a month, I followed up and I call up, and as she picks up the phone, I hear her laughing. And I couldn't figure out, I'm like, okay, something good is happening. What's going on? She goes, that's so funny you called at this time right now. She goes, the property manager was just here at the apartment and they wanted to see if I got rid of the dog. And she was like, it was amazing that they actually thought I got rid of my dog. She thought that was the best thing in the world because that means no more complaints, which lowered her stress levels enormously. In that month period, 4 weeks, guys, 30, 31 days, depending on the month, she has noticed her relationship with her children has gotten better because mom is calmer. Mom is hearing them better because mom's not so frantic. Her relationship with her coworkers has gotten better to the point where her bosses noticed and she got a raise because her work changed. All because of 15 minutes. Think about that. 15 minutes. Imagine if she could have gave herself a half hour, how things could have changed even better. Oh, by the way, and today she does give herself the extra half hour. She found that her me time is so crucial to her mental health, her physical health, her well-being, her daughter's mental health, her daughter's well-being, physical and mental. Her dogs, she's enjoying walking her dog. Everything is so calm in her life. So it was a great experience, but here's the killer. I was there for 2.5 hours, whatever I was there. I never once handled the dog. Because dog training isn't about dogs. It's about changing our lives to understand how your energy is so crucial to every aspect of your life. From our dogs to our partners, to our children, to our coworkers, to relatives, to friends, you name it. I can go on and on and on and on about it. So, all that being said, the crucial takeaway is she learned how to live a calmer life, which is something that I think we all need to learn. I needed to learn it. You'll hear about me learning that in future episodes. But this week, I'm actually guys going to give you some homework assignments to do with you, your dogs, your loved ones. I want you to allow yourselves some you time. Take some time for yourself. Block out the outside world. Block out the noise. The outside world will clutter your mind. It will stress you out. Look at everything going on. I mean, I can go on and on and on for hours about what's going on in the world, in our country, but that's not what this is about. So take some time for you. Live in the moment for you. Forget about everything else. Just be in your own place. Start your day in a calmer manner. So if it means waking up 15 minutes earlier, a half hour earlier, just so you have that you time, do it. But use that you time for exactly what it is. It's for you. It's not for folding the laundry. It's not for washing the dishes. It's not for prepping dinner. It's for you to find inner peace. Get up earlier and leave earlier. Stop rushing to work. I know where I live right now, we're going through a lot of construction, so this traffic is ridiculous right now. So me knowing that, I leave earlier. So I don't get frustrated sitting in traffic. And I truly, truly believe, guys, that if you live those 3 or 4 things that I just talked about, do your homework on making the time for yourself, starting your day in a calmer manner, leaving a little earlier, I truly will believe that you will start seeing your days get better. Your relationships will get better. But most importantly, your overall mental and physical health will get better. So that's episode 2 on how to human training for dogs. I want to thank you for listening and watching this. It is so important for me to try to get the word out to you guys, where transformation definitely starts with you. If today's episode hits home with you and you know somebody else who's living that chaotic lifestyle, share this video with them. It'll be up on my Facebook page, personal Back to Basics Facebook page, Back to Basics YouTube channel, as well as Spotify. Share it with them. Because if you want to turn the calm into chaos, the chaos into calm, we can do it one leash and one morning at a time. Episode 3, which will post out next Monday at 11 o'clock, is about how the leash isn't about physical exercise, guys. It's going to be a real good lesson to understand why the walk and the leash is so important to helping our dogs have a happy, balanced life they deserve, have a happy, balanced life that we deserve. But if you have any questions in the meantime, please feel free to reach out to me. You can contact me at 803-415-6970 to schedule your free 15-minute evaluation on how I can help you learn to live a calm, balanced life. Until next time, stay calm, stay consistent, and remember, no anger, no frustration, no nonsense.